Job burnout, it's a term we're hearing more and more these days, and for a good reason. If you or someone you know feels completely worn out by work, you're not alone. Burnout can affect anyone, from top executives to entry-level employees. It's not just about being tired. It can have serious impacts on mental and physical health. Today, we're joined by two experts, Liam Turner, an occupational health specialist with a focus on employee well-being, and Amelia Grant, a human resources consultant with experience in organizational wellness. They'll help us break down what burnout really is, what causes it, the effects it has, and, most importantly, ways we can tackle it. Let's jump right in. Liam, can you explain what job burnout is and why it's so widespread today?
Certainly. Job burnout is a type of chronic stress that comes specifically from work. Unlike normal stress, which is temporary, burnout builds over time and is characterized by three main things: exhaustion, a lack of motivation or a sense of detachment from one's job, and a feeling of reduced performance. It often feels like you're simply going through the motions without enthusiasm.
Yes, exactly. In fact, burnout has been officially recognized by the World Health Organization as an occupational phenomenon. It's defined as a syndrome resulting from unmanaged chronic workplace stress. While burnout can appear in any profession, it's especially common in high-stress jobs like healthcare, teaching, and social services, where workers often feel like they have more responsibilities than they can manage.
That's eye-opening. Amelia, could you tell us what usually causes burnout?
Of course. There are several key reasons behind burnout, and they're often connected to how the workplace is structured. For instance, unrealistic workload expectations are a common cause. When someone is given more tasks than they can handle, it's only a matter of time before they become overwhelmed.
Another factor is a lack of control. If employees feel they don't have a say in their schedules, workloads, or even the methods they use to complete tasks, this loss of control can quickly lead to burnout. There's also the issue of unclear expectations. If someone doesn't understand what's expected of them, it leads to confusion, and frustration builds up.
Don't forget about lack of social support at work. Research has shown that a supportive environment, like having coworkers or managers who listen and provide help, can really make a difference. Without this support, workers often feel isolated, which can worsen feelings of burnout.
Interesting points. Now, where and when does burnout usually appear? Are there specific times when people are more vulnerable to it?
Yes, burnout is more likely to occur in jobs with high demands and limited resources, but it can also peak during certain times of the year. For example, teachers often report high levels of burnout near the end of school terms, while healthcare workers may feel burnout after a long stretch of night shifts or during health crises, like a flu season.
True, and burnout isn't only limited to full-time workers. Even part-time employees can experience it, especially if they work in stressful environments or have multiple jobs. Research indicates that people are particularly vulnerable to burnout in high-stress situations, like major deadlines or peak business periods where they feel pressure to perform but have little time to recover.
That makes sense. So what happens when someone reaches this level of burnout? Amelia, could you share the effects on an individual?
Burnout affects almost every part of life. Physically, it can lead to chronic fatigue, insomnia, and even a weakened immune system, which makes people more prone to illness. Mentally, it can contribute to anxiety, depression, and a reduced ability to concentrate. Emotionally, it often leaves people feeling detached even from things they once enjoyed.
And it doesn't stop there. Burnout can affect someone's work performance, causing them to make more mistakes, miss deadlines, or even call in sick frequently. It impacts their personal lives, too. People experiencing burnout might become irritable with loved ones or withdraw from social activities they used to enjoy.
Yes, and let's not forget its impact on others in the workplace. A burned-out employee might unknowingly contribute to a negative work environment. Colleagues may feel frustrated when a team member is not as productive or reliable. And for organizations, burnout can lead to higher turnover rates and a drop in overall team morale.
Burnout clearly has a wide-reaching impact. So, what can be done to address it? Liam, could you start with some personal strategies for handling burnout?
Certainly. A good starting point is setting boundaries. It's essential to create a clear separation between work and personal life, even if you work from home. Simple things like not checking emails after hours can help prevent burnout. Taking regular breaks, even a few minutes each hour, can reduce mental strain.
Another effective strategy is developing healthy routines outside work, like regular exercise and quality sleep. Studies show that exercise can relieve stress and improve mood, which combats some of the mental impacts of burnout. Also, it's important to seek social support, whether from friends, family, or a professional counselor.
Yes, and people can try mindfulness techniques like meditation. Even a few minutes of deep breathing can help reduce stress levels and clear the mind. It's about learning how to unplug when work ends.
Great tips. Now let's talk about how organizations can play a role in preventing burnout. Any insights on that, Amelia?
Absolutely. Organizations can start by addressing workload and giving employees a manageable number of tasks. Another step is allowing some flexibility, like remote work options or flexible hours. When employees have control over how and when they work, it reduces the risk of burnout.
Agreed. Organizations can also promote a supportive culture, encouraging managers to check in regularly with their teams and offer help when needed. Recognition plays a big role too. When employees feel valued, they're less likely to burn out.
Yes, and training managers to recognize early signs of burnout is essential. By spotting it early, managers can take action such as adjusting workloads or offering support. Regular feedback sessions are also helpful for employees to express their needs or struggles openly.
Before we wrap up, I'd like to touch on one last point. For those who've taken a break due to burnout and are now returning to work, what advice would you give to help them ease back in and prevent a relapse?
That's a great question. For anyone returning after burnout, I'd recommend starting gradually if possible. Jumping back into a full workload can be overwhelming, so easing in with manageable tasks can help. It's also important to set boundaries early on. Know when to say no and make time for breaks throughout the day. Recovery isn't just about the time off. It's about maintaining healthier work habits when you're back.
I completely agree. Another tip would be to reassess your work priorities and perhaps even redefine success for yourself. Many people feel pressure to go above and beyond right away, but focusing on balance and sustainability is crucial. Also, having an open line of communication with your supervisor can make a big difference. Letting them know your needs can help them support you better as you transition into your routine.
I really appreciate the depth of understanding you both have shared today. It's clear that job burnout is a complex issue with serious consequences, but there are practical ways to address it. Whether it's setting personal boundaries or fostering a supportive work environment, we can all take steps to mitigate its impact. Thanks for joining today's discussion. We hope you gained some valuable takeaways. Don't forget to subscribe and check back for more insightful topics. Until next time, take care.